adjust your, your SRs in the future appropriately for that. And Dal, does Moose have his SR in the spot?
Yeah.
Probably does.
No, I don't.
No.
Oh, hey Moose. Me and
Okay,
Moose,
cool. We won't
me
pull this
and
without him,
Moose,
then.
and then me and Coke and Trauma bonded on 10-man Garrosh attempts with random pugs.
Oh no.
It was.
Yeah. What'd you think of Garrosh? He's fun.
That went better than my Saturday night attempts. I'll say that. That's all.
I think Lemon one-shot it with a pug, didn't he?
I mean, in fairness, the second group that Koken and I were in, Moose versus the one we were, the first one we were in, they actually like
Got a plan?
like the raid lead kind of knew what he was doing, whereas the other one was like face tank and hope we out DPS every mechanic.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It did not
Hi,
work.
baby.
It did not work at all, but it was fun.
It was a good learning experience. The calls were good. The DPS wasn't there.
Bad. Okay,
It just
let's
means
talk
we
about
don't
this
get-
fight.
Oh, yep.
Let's talk about this fight for a second. We're 6 healing for this fight, and then War's gonna go back. Dal, please be communicative tonight on if we need to drop down. I don't know of my healers who's a DPS set. Hopefully you have a better idea of what that looks like, Dal. And hopefully please establish that in the future. Otherwise, if you actively want people to drop down, and healers. And then, but yeah, 6 healing this. Everybody should know what it is. If you see the oozes, or during phase 2, make sure you're standing on oozes to get the buff and spreading out very effectively. There's going to be ads as we enter phase 2 for the first several transitions, so make sure those get cleaned up. But still try to prioritize getting to your areas. I adjusted positioning for triangle to have big DPS so they can kind of stay back. My Koken and my Tai to help clean up any remaining ads. Eben, we had me. Who did we have tank first last week? Was it me or you?
Me.
You, okay, you're going to be tanking first, yep, and then goes to me, and then you're going to help gather all of the ads into the main stack that everybody DPS is down. Friendly reminders, make sure that you, as we enter phase 1 again and are dealing with the boss's debuff, make sure you don't get too many stacks. Like, get up to like 4, and then go hard swap to DPS. DPSing all the little ads. And those are all the main comments that I have for tonight. Moose, do I have an ETA for login?
It depends on how crappy my computer wants to be. It's on the loading screen into game right now. So.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Awesome.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Zap, if you can try and bring them where is standing, I think there might not be too many.
Today,
there. Like, I think
The Slay the Spire 2 drama
but additionally,
has
I'm
me
gonna
more
set
wet
a portal
than
so
the
that
last
people
time
can
your mom came over last
I'll
night.
zap over there and
Basically, the
try and
Ironclad
take it.
has voice lines, and all of the voice lines is him saying slurs. In Slay the Spire 1, there was something called correlated randomness, which, essentially, I don't understand a lot of this. Computers cannot simulate real
Yeah, so friendly
randomness,
reminder, make
right?
sure you heal in,
They
make sure you
cannot
stand
simulate
level
real
for,
randomness.
for,
Instead, randomness in computer language is more of pseudo-randomness that's created by patterns that are so confusing to the human brain that you don't really know the difference between them. In Slay the Spire 1, it wasn't all that bad, and it was also fixed with a simple mod called RNG Fix. But for instance, there was certain events in Slay the Spire 1 called Shrine Events, and if you saw a Shrine event, you knew that your next question mark room was always a fight. And so if you knew the list of Shrine events in your head, it was difficult to unsee the fact that, oh, I click on a question mark and I know that it's going to be... the next question mark room is going to be a fight. There was also, like, if your first combat was a singular cultist in Slay the Spire 1, then it meant that your next question mark room was going to be, like, something like that. There was even down to, like, defect lightning orb RNG that you could kind of predict in Slay the Spire 1. And a lot of those correlated things are all, since it's the pseudo-randomness patterns, they're all connected together. So once you see one of them, you know the rest of them down to a lot of it. And we had heard from the Slay the Spire devs that they were trying to get rid of the correlated randomness, and you can see in the code that they did try to get rid of that pseudo-randomness being able to be solved in the game until a couple of days ago, a user named JMac was trying to break the game in the most beautiful way possible. I'll show you just a small little clip of it right now. They essentially got Nightmare, Transfigure, and Royalties, and they ended up for hours and hours and hours and hours. You can see that this is quite literally like a 7-hour fight.
Let's get food and flask.
Pinged themselves in
One more ready check once you have.
We pulled
like 2 million gold.
Let's go ahead and.
And that's cool. That's awesome. Like, that's fucking sick. That is one of the coolest things that I've seen in the game. But there is another user that their name is Tickman, TCKMN, that saw that, and they really wanted to do something similar, but they wanted to do it with Scythe, where they would find a seed that would generate them Scythe and Transfigure so that they could put a bunch of replay onto a Scythe, and then it played like 1,000 times early on in an Act 1 combat, and you get Scythe up to like 1 billion trillion damage, and then you could go around and you can just fucking lay your dick out on the game. And so what they did was they plugged in to the Slay the Spire. They basically plugged in some code to tell Slay the Spire to find them a seed that had Scythe, Transfigure, and was also in the Overgrowth. And when they did that, and they told Slay the Spire to produce them a seed that did that, no seeds came up. Zero. There were 0 seeds in the entire game, in the trillions of seeds that can be generated, that allowed them to have Transfigure and Scythe at the same time in Act 1 through transforms.
Hey, we're good.
There was no seeds in the game that allowed them to transform into Transfigure and Scythe.
And
So they couldn't get those cards.
as soon as they're
But
like,
then,
good, I was like,
They turned, they wanted the Overgrowth because the Overgrowth has more exploitable fights where you can just sit and the enemy doesn't continue to scale. And you could just sit there and let it farm like JMac did. And they turned it from the Overgrowth to the Underdogs, and it immediately populated a seed that it could happen in. And that raised an alarm to them. And so then, they made a scatter plot of all of the Transform rolls, and it came out like this.
Keep them clustered. That would work
That's a
amazingly.
fucking
Let's
pattern.
get food and flask
That's
out.
not random. And so then they ended up over the last few days making this entire 6,840 word document. And if you just need to know some basic things, they put it at the top so that us idiots can understand. Because again, I don't understand this entirely. But if, again, I want to real quick disclaimer this. You can play the game normally right now, not know any of this information, and you will still have fun. But if you cross this line now, until this gets patched, which probably will be soon, because I can tell you right now to make you not so worried, it's actually a really easy fix. You probably will struggle to play the basic game until this gets patched in the next few days. Just letting you know this. I read it last night because I can't not read this shit, and it is bad.
Oh, that's
So, just as you've been warned, if you pick up Niao's Bones of the Underdogs, this gives you 2 Niao starts and a curse.
And then I'm gonna hit go. Okay, perfect. Here's the pull timer team. Make sure you pre-plot. We're gonna get hero off rip. Just so everybody's aware. Make sure you know where you're going.
What the hell?
Don't get too many stacks off rip. Watch your stacks get up to like 3 or 4.
5, 4,
5, and then focus ads. Pre-plots.
1.
Evan's taking first. Keep Evan up. Dodge. Sidestep. Taunting. Here comes Swirl. I'm gonna watch for it. Oh, we're fine.
Don't worry about it.
Here it comes. Fine. Good job. Push over the boss. Start heading to your areas. There's a couple more congealed slime. My triangle people are going to clean those up. Get to your areas. You can see where the ads are coming. Flows, roots, pulls, all of the above work. swirl is totally fine. Let's get Neris up, please.
I'm over by Skull.